So, after realizing I wasted too many hours of my life on a monkey balloon game, I decided to waste my life on another monkey balloon game called Bloons Monkey City. This is a free-to-play tower defense city builder made by Ninja Kiwi back in 2014. This game is pretty different from the other Bloons tower defense games because of the city building, and it just changes how you play this game. There's a lot to get into, like explaining the basics, if the city building makes the game better or worse, and if this game is still even worth giving a chance. For starters, the city building hits you right in the face in the beginning, because your city won't look like this yet. Not to brag, but in this game you have to earn every little thing like your towers and upgrades. Like, you'll only start with dart monkeys like a noob, and you see these buildings right here? You build multiple dart monkey buildings to get multiple dart monkeys, and you can build upgrade buildings to upgrade them. Pretty simple, right? Then you'll get some early game towers like the tack shooter or boomerang monkey or something, and as you're playing through the game and earning coins, you use these coins to buy more tower buildings and upgrades. I think it's a pretty fun gameplay loop. Like, you'll start out as a little dumb city mainly using dart monkeys with very little money to becoming a big glorious city with super monkeys and all the banana farms and coins you could dream of. It's that kind of progression that I really like about this game, and I know that you can level up in the regular BTD games, but in Monkey City, it goes the extra mile by having to earn every single tower, upgrade, and even every power-up that you get. On top of that, you have to maintain your city and capture land to expand your city. You see, to make a building for your tower, you need land. Each piece of land has a difficulty and a map to capture it. It gets progressively harder as you play through the game. Once you beat the map, you capture the land, and I'm sure you can see how it makes sense with capturing land and making a city out of it. It's up to you what you do with your land and which towers you decide to upgrade and buy. But one thing every city needs is power. So as you decide to buy more towers and upgrade them, you're gonna want some windmills. Just make sure you keep an eye on your power as you get a bunch of cool towers and upgrades. It's usually not a worry. But if it is a worry, that means you're having money problems, and that's one thing a good city needs to have in order. That money. And don't worry, I'm not talking about real money, at least not yet. The main currency you're dealing with are these coins, and I think they're pretty fair for a free game. At first, you'll be struggling to get some towers and upgrades, but naturally as you play the game, it starts to feel more and more comfortable and feels more like a regular Bloons tower defense game. You start off with only one of these banana farms that generates coins for you, but as you play the game, you get more of them and even upgrade them. This makes it so you get more coins, so you get more towers and upgrades. These banana farms make being patient very rewarding. It gives you the opportunity to catch up if you're behind, or you can even get ahead of the curve. You don't only progress by capturing land and leveling up, you can also just be patient with these banana farms. And hey, I'm not gonna lie, I've been playing this game for about a month, but I spent nearly another month just collecting coins and getting upgrades, so it definitely feels like I'm ahead of the curve. I think it's a cool and smart option, but it's such a mobile game thing to do. But it's not as broken as it seems. You still have to level up, and you need monkey knowledge for your tower so they can get stronger. In Bloons Monkey City, you get these monkey knowledge packs, and they give you little stat boosts to make your tower stronger, so this has a nice progression to it. You can get these packs from capturing land in other various in-game ways, or you can spend money on it. Yeah, I've been trying to avoid it, but that's right. You can spend money on this free-to-play mobile game. Who would have guessed? But it's really not that bad. I haven't spent a penny on this game and never felt the need to. There's a premium currency called Bloon Stones, and I think Ninja Kiwi did a pretty good job making them not annoying. Like, in the beginning, it'll feel like they're so important, and oh my goddamn, waiting for everything is so annoying, right? But if you're patient and don't rely on them, you can stack them pretty high and get a lot of them. It's just fun to collect them now. If you play this game smart and get past that slow beginning, it can feel really rewarding. I like to see if free games give a fair chance to people who don't want to spend money, and I think Ninja Kiwi did a good job as I expected. Because this game would definitely be ruined if the currency was too stingy or too hard to get. There's a bunch of little ways you can play this game, not only for variety, but to get some cool rewards. One of my favorite ways to play the game is that spawn beacon that drops by every few hours. It just randomly picks a piece of land and you get extra rewards when you beat it, and it's about half the rounds of a regular game, so it's really efficient. It's not too different of a way to play the game, but that's where something like contested territory comes in. You're surviving as long as you can to compete with other players. It feels like you're pushing all of your towers and upgrades to the limit to beat the other players. You can get some pretty good milestone rewards from it too. But if you want a real challenge, then you should try out the bosses. Don't let the gameplay fool you, this is only a level 1 boss. The bosses level up and get harder to take down, but you get some really good rewards for the higher level bosses. And just like the spawn beacon, you cannot spam a lot of these game modes. You can only do them once and then wait a few hours to do them again. You get used to this kind of pace as you play the game. But after all that, let's say that's still not enough for you. That's when we get into some PvP. Oh, did I say PvP? I hope you weren't thinking of anything like Bloons TD Battles. Just like any other city building mobile game, you attack other cities just by sending an attack. I do like how you can pick what kind of balloon attack you're sending, but there's no real interaction or PvP. To be honest, I'm sorta okay with this. I kinda like the whole defend and attack thing going on. I prefer PvE or co-op when it comes to Bloons Tower Defense, but I can definitely understand if someone wanted real PvP like BTD Battles. At the very least, you get a lot of coins if you successfully attack another city. Even if they defend it, you get a fair amount of coins. To be honest, I kinda stopped caring about defending my city, but the best part is, it doesn't matter. The game recommends that you turn off PvP, but don't do it. There's barely any penalty if you don't defend your city, and it's worth getting coins from attacking other cities. Revenge attacks are cool too. Another part of the PvP is having to make buildings for them, like getting the ability to send out ceramics and eventually Moabs. I still need to unlock this last building for PvP though. There were also these tasks you can do to get more XP and useful stuff. They're basically like challenges or quests, but at some point you just stop getting them, and that made me a little sad, but I guess we don't need those training wheels anymore. But one thing that's similar to the tasks and something you'll always have your eye out for are those chests in special areas when capturing land, like when you first get the monkey sub. It's these challenging but rewarding parts of the game that feel so satisfying. You get the coolest rewards, and it takes a long build up to get that far. Usually you have to capture a bunch of land to even get to one of these special areas, and then capturing the land itself can be really difficult, so you might need to upgrade your towers, and it's just the whole journey, but definitely one of the best parts of the game. I think it's these special areas and just how big this game is that gives it all of this progression and replayability. Initially it looks like the type of game you could play forever. Just look at how big the map is and how much land you need to capture. But at 100 hours, I think I could get an idea of how big this game actually is. I can just barely see the end of the map, which I think is pretty interesting. This game seems to be randomly generated, but not infinite. At first I thought it was infinite, and I could only imagine if it was, but it looks like there's a few 100 hours of gameplay, which is a lot to complete a game, but I think it's fitting for this type of game. There's lots of milestones and rewards on the way, so it hasn't been repetitive so far. It's also cool to have a visual representation of how much time you put into the game other than your stats. Speaking of stats, let's see what I'm dealing with at 100 hours of playtime. I made this account about 2 months ago, and I've been collecting coins for the last month, so I'm level 30, which isn't too bad. I've captured a fair amount of land with a decent amount of monkeys. I don't really use the crates that much, but maybe I should for some occasions. I can hold about 100,000 coins in my banks, and I've won nearly 500 battles and lost about 200. That includes both PvE and PvP. I have about 220 buildings in total with 29 million balloons popped, and you can't forget those goddamn spies. But I'm not looking too bad, right? I have almost every tower in the game, every upgrade tower with almost every single upgrade, almost every special building, one more PvP building left, and I keep up with my resource buildings. I'm on top of things like a boss. And you know, I don't really be decorating like that, and I know my city's a bit of a mess, but it's functional and that's all that matters. I show you all of this to get an idea of the progression and to see if this is something you'd want to do yourself. Bloons Monkey City has just been a breath of fresh air after playing BTD 6 for so long. This game does so many little things different that I didn't even mention, like when you level up, you get more starting cash and lives, which is pretty helpful. And you know how you can always expect a Moab at round 40 and a BFB at round 60 in the regular BTD games? Well, in this game it's more random, so you have to always be ready. I just think this is the best Bloons Tower Defense game that's not in the main series. I like it more than Bloons TD Battles and more than Bloons Adventure Time. There, I said it. That's why it'd be cool if they released a Bloons Monkey City 2, and you know what? I think they're gonna do it. They made a BTD Battles 2, so they're open to making sequels for their spin-off BTD games. Plus, it'd be cool to see Monkey City in the same engine that BTD 6 uses. It's been fun going back to the old graphics and the vibe of BTD 5, but it'd be cool to give this game an upgrade. But as it is right now, is Bloons Monkey City still worth playing? Well, if you made it this far in the review and you're still interested, then hell yeah it is. As a new player, there's a lot to sink your teeth into, and it's a fun, different way to play a Bloons tower defense game. But for returning players, I'm not entirely sure. This game doesn't get updates like that, although there are in-game things like timed events that keeps things fresh. If you haven't played this game in like a decade, I think it'll be fun to return to, but you might not get fully back into it again. I can see myself completing this game, and there's achievements to tell you the kind of progress you're making on the way. I have about half of the achievements right now, but I'ma keep going. And like I said earlier, with all the timed events, all the replayability, and the illusion of PvP, this game never feels dead, so why not give it a shot? Well, believe it or not, this game actually has a pretty decent player count on Steam since being added to Steam in 2020, so I can only imagine how this game is doing on mobile. It's nice that you have so many ways to play this game, so you have no excuse not to try it. You can literally download this game right now on your computer or on your phone. What are you waiting for? But I do plan on continuing to play this game. It's been a nice break from BTD 6, and I wanted to play another tower defense game to switch it up, so this was the perfect middle ground for me. I'd like to do a follow-up video one day with a final review once I'm done with this game, or maybe when Monkey City 2 comes out. Either way, both sound exciting. But I'd really like to know your guys' opinion on this game. Do you love it? Do you not care about it and only care about the main BTD games? Is BTD Battles better? Drop a comment and let's talk about it. Chances are if you made it this far in the video, then you're probably reminiscing or at least like this game, so I would appreciate a like for checking it out. There's not too many people still talking about and reviewing this game, so you better do it. Don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed the review. I'll always keep an eye on Ninja Kiwi's games to see what they're up to. I don't only play games from Ninja Kiwi or Bloons Tower Defense, but if you want to see more, you can check on the screen. It's always a pleasure checking out a game from Ninja Kiwi, and I needed a different flavor of drug after playing BTD 6 for 1,000 hours. Can't wait to get addicted to another Ninja Kiwi game. Peace, guys.